final thoughts from the last media class. Last semester students were asked to share their thoughts about media, and they were asked 4 things. First, what was the best thing about media? Second, what was the worst thing? And you'll see they all agreed. Third, what was the one thing they learned about themselves? And finally, fourth, what is some advice for the incoming class? That's you. Listen carefully and take some notes on anything you feel is important. Happy viewing.
Hello everyone, my name is Ahmed, and I'm a student. I was a student in media class. I really think the best thing about media class is working as a team members, choosing your team members, and it was really fun. I really enjoyed it. The worst thing about media class, there wasn't really bad. It was all fun. This class was really cool. I liked it. Nothing was bad. And this class, the media class, really helped me a lot, because I never thought that I might stand in front of camera, people recording me, saying news. I was really shy of camera, and it was real an obstacle in my life that I passed it because of this class. I had this job too. But I think the best thing for the coming class is having a new equipment, because the equipment we had wasn't really great. It was fine, but it wasn't really great, so I hope you guys have a good equipment and helps you get better, recording better. And the only advice I can say is don't be shy, just stand in front of the camera and live with it. That's it. Thank you for listening. I hope you guys enjoy the class.
Alright, so for 4 quick thoughts about media. I think the best thing about media is probably getting together with your crew and just trying to brainstorm ideas for a really good broadcast. The worst thing about media is Moodle. Moodle assignments will kill you if you don't do them. What I learned about media is probably the editing. Editing was so much fun, trying to put in effects and just editing with your crew. It brings a lot of laughter and just collaboration. A piece of advice for the media class is never procrastinate with any broadcast. Give it all you got.
Hi, I'm Julius, and I'm going to tell you about media. The best thing about media is you get to meet friends like Cash and Lavina.
Yes.
You get to work on the computers, heck of other stuff. The worst thing about media, I can't say nothing bad.
Somebody got to take class.
Oh, yeah, of course. What I learned about myself is I could be in front of the camera and not be shy. And a piece of advice, you guys better be good, have fun, and that's it. All right, bye.
Quick 30 seconds about follow-up questions. The best thing about media class is being with friends, recording the broadcast. The worst thing was about the photo assignment. Third, I could work with people. And fourth, have fun.
I'm Lavina, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about media class. The best thing about media class is that you get to act, do a lot of stuff, hang out with your friends. The worst thing about it is that you gotta learn how to do stuff on the computer. That's the worst thing.
A minute.
I can't do 30 seconds.
Look how fast I do mine.
I can act good. That's all I learned. And for a little advice for students who come in,
Quick, fast,
just
38 seconds.
pay attention and stay focused.
Hey, Miss Joe. Speak rich. Best thing I like about this media class was everything. It was fun. I like the groups. We get to switch around. It was fun. The worst thing about it was like the Moodle parts. I didn't really like the Moodle. So that's what brought my grade down. But other than that, it was good. And what I learned about myself in media was I got more confidence now, and I'm not that shy as I was before. And for the new people for next term, just listen to her. Don't fight. Don't argue. And just have fun. Be yourself. Well, I'll see you later, Miss Joe.
Hello everybody. Well, the best thing I liked about media class was getting to know people and making new friends. The worst thing I didn't like about media class was getting started so late. I wish we would have had more time to record. And one thing I learned about me was that I do better on people I'm comfortable with, and it makes it a lot more funner. So one of the advice I would give to incoming people is to find a group that you really like and you're really comfortable with, and you'll have really fun in the class. Well.
The best thing about media class was working on broadcasts and doing it. And the worst thing about media class was ignorant people. Like, well, no names describing. Oh, what I learned about yourself?
I got hit by a shovel.
I could get kicked. Intake me. One piece of advice for the incoming class. Probably choose your friends wisely.
That was more than 3 minutes.
6. This is dedication to Miss Joe. Yeah. The best thing about media class was working with the twins. Yeah, they're very smart, and when you need help, they'll help you. The worst thing about media class is doing the Moodle work. What did I learn about myself? That I actually like the camera, and I like acting and making people laugh. And one piece of advice for the incoming media class: take it seriously and be funny, and everyone will love the broadcast.
Alright, best thing about media will probably be using technology and learning new stuff every day, so that's pretty cool. The worst thing about media, I have no idea what that is, so skip that one. What do you have learned about yourself in media? I'm pretty good at anchoring. That's probably the only thing I'm going to be good at right there. So I try to everything pretty much fastly, so. And the advice for the media class.
I don't know. You can only put one here. Yeah. Wait,
I would
one,
have to
two,
say,
three. You can go there like 5 times.
just help out people who are new to this technology stuff and just do what you can to pass this class. So that'd probably be the best piece of advice I can give you. So, alright.
I think the best part about media class is definitely the collaboration with everybody. Just working with the different people and getting their ideas on and feedback on what you're thinking, and just kind of it's just really astounding. The worst thing about there wasn't really the worst part about media. Besides the occasional we couldn't figure out what to record, we didn't know what we wanted to film, or just so many ideas to choose from, we just couldn't pick. But you just gotta. That's why we have that collaboration. What I learned about myself, probably being in this class, made me realize that how important technology is. To support communication. How we get out the word of what's going on in one class into another class. I think it's really great. One piece of advice, I think, for the incoming class, definitely, don't be shy in front of the camera, and just be yourself there, because no one wants a phony on camera and everything. So, just be yourself in front of the camera. Don't be shy or don't worry about it.
I'm gonna say the same
Everyone
thing
will
you
like
said.
Well, I think the class was interesting. I think we should have did more individual projects.
I think the best thing about media class is being with your friends and doing funny things with the camera, recording people, and walking around, with the camera around the school. The worst thing about media class is that just the paperwork really is nothing really that's that bad. I've learned that I learned how to do a lot of things on the computer, like how to edit a video in media class. I learned how to where all the little buttons are on the cameras and stuff, and how to do that, all that stuff. And for the people who haven't taken media and is going to, really, it's not that much to it. Just do your paperwork and your broadcast every week. Just do your work and it's fine. You get an
Hi, I'm Hunter Hutcher, and the best thing about media class is getting to know other people and sharing your creativity with people. The worst thing is dealing with the people that really don't want to be there, and you think they aren't good enough in front of the camera, things like that. I've learned through this class that I'm a really good teacher to those who don't really know. And one piece of advice I have for you that you come to class, not to be shy in front of the camera because it's just a camera. And don't be afraid of performing in front of new people.
Hello. Well, the best thing that's good about media is learning from others, doing things that you've never experienced. One of the worst things is not having enough time to do them, or starting too late, or not planning it out. One talent that I've learned is learning how to edit and upload it onto YouTube. One advice that I would give to others is just be yourself and don't be afraid to try new things.
Okay, so the best thing about media was going out and filming the PSAs. The worst thing about media was the Moodle assignments. What I learned about myself was that I can get over my shyness and be an introvert. And a piece of advice was don't wait until the last minute to do the broadcast because they will not be good.
So 4 things about media class. Well, the best thing with it is using computers, going on the internet, with friends, doing the broadcast, having lives. The worst thing is all the time, we do everything. Too much drama. Third, I learned that some funny guys, laugh. Piece of advice for the media class: do your work.
Hi there, ladies and gentlemen. Today is January 11, 2011. We're here with Cashmere Robinson, and I'm here to tell you some of the things about my media class. Some of the best things about media class is you get to record and have fun and chill with some of your friends, you feel me? Jaleesa and Davina like themselves. The worst thing about it is not a gotta take class, you feel me? You wanna go to all your gotta take class. And what I learned about it, I learned how to edit and do other stuff and be creative, you know? And some advice, follow directions. Follow directions.
The best thing about media was going out and filming. The worst thing was the Moodle assignment and the PSA script assignment. What I learned about myself was that I can be an anchor and not be shy about it. And what I learned is that the advice is you shouldn't do the broadcast at the last day because it won't help you. And you get a 0 like we did.
They're talking about penises, and that's all in my life.
The best thing about media class is hanging out with friends and getting together as a group to record a broadcast. I think it was fun. The worst thing about the class was the lack of time to edit. What I learned for myself is I can anchor, I can edit, put together videos now and make a broadcast and probably do other things with it. And with advice for incoming people is to use your time wisely to make sure you get things done in time.
Alright, so the best thing about hold up, I'm here to talk about the best things about media. And the best thing about media is that editing, brainstorming, having fun, and directing videos is so fun. That's the best part about media. And the worst thing about media is Moodle that I'm doing right now, which I hate and I don't like. And I hate Moodle. I dislike it. Boom. One piece of advice for you guys, for the upcoming students. I prefer you to be good. Hope you got good ideas for the PSA. Just have fun out there. Don't even think about grading. Just have fun. you'll do good. Just keep your head up and stay in the game and have fun. It's all about learning having fun. So I'm gonna just bounce. Deuces.
The best thing about filming was PSAs. The worst thing was Moodle. I learned not to edit the video the day before the broadcast. My advice to the next class is try not to mess up, because then the group is gonna post it up. That's it.
Alright, so the best thing about media is that you get to without friends and groups. The worst thing is that in the rush, like you have to turn in so fast. And one of the things I learned about myself is that I'm not as camera shy as I thought I used to be. Like I could actually work on the camera. And one piece of advice for the incoming media class is that they shouldn't stress about making their podcast. They should have fun with it. It's their own podcast, and they should enjoy it and not like, be worried about it and have fun with it. It's their podcast and do whatever they want to. So, yeah.
The best thing about media was making the news, like filming, making those PSAs. We really had fun. The worst thing about media was writing the newspaper. In media class, I learned how to use more better the cameras. I also learned how to edit the news.
It's really great to collaborate. Get their thoughts and ideas.
Don't make them do the newspaper.
Just work together.
I learned not to assign any computer filming when we have a guest teacher because the background noise gets to be too loud. Your turn to share some of your thoughts now. What do you hope to be able to accomplish in media? What would you like to learn to do? What are your strengths as a student? What are your weaknesses? How well do you work with a group? What skills do you think are important for collaboration? Do you have any technical skills that you think would be helpful to the class? Open a Word document and respond to those questions. Submit your responses to the Moodle assignment that I know they all hated, but still it's helpful to me. Anyway, I promise there won't be that many more Moodle assignments. Thanks for watching.